The joys of live TV. Anyway, yes, attempt 2. Yes, this is the Daily Grind for Tuesday the 24th of November. And I definitely need more coffee. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it's been a weird one this morning. Lots of shit going on. But that's enough of, me. Let's get into this a second time. Yes, remote play. So Sony obviously set up remote play for the PS4 for playing basically PS4 games on your Vita, and the idea was so that you could play it anywhere. It's almost that kind of what Nvidia did with the Nvidia Shield, so you could play your PC games on a handheld. Very similar idea, but basically playing PS4 games on your PC. Now, somebody's basically been working on a hack for this, to actually allow you to play it on your PC. So it's almost turning into what Windows is doing with Xbox One, being able to stream your Xbox One to your PC. Not that I know anybody would actually want to play Xbox One stuff on the PC. Minecraft Story Mode Part 3 is released today already. Major catch grab. Yeah, Scutman, yes, we will be covering Minecraft Episode 3 at 5 o'clock tonight when the embargo lifts. You will see Fran and Aaron playing the next episode. So, yeah, do tune in to the YouTube channel to check that out. Yes, anyway, where was I? Remote play. Yes, somebody's hacked it, and so you can actually play PS4 games on your PC. And this is apparently the Remote Play PC app, I suppose you call it, program, is actually being officially launched tomorrow. Obviously, it's not backed by Sony, but the developer goes by the name of Twisted, is releasing this program tomorrow for £6.50 or $10. And this is to, as he says, so he can continue work on it almost full time, sort of thing. So as a technical exercise, I do think it's cool that programmers, developers, and things like that can do this. It shows the power of the PC that you can mod stuff, and the fact that the PS4 architecture is close enough that they can actually get this kind of app running. I think that video I showed you was from back in July, where people could get it running but using like an Android app, because I mean, one of the things with remote play was you could play it on Sony phones as like an Android app, but he's working on this newer version so you can actually play on PC as like a standalone kind of app. Anyway, so that was a bit of tech news, I suppose, but there's more tech news later on. What else we got? Just Cause 3. Obviously, Just Cause 3 out next week, and they released the details for the actual specs of what's going to be required of you to actually be able to play on your PC, maximum resolution, all that kind of thing. So they've actually upgraded, I think it was the grunt of your CPU that's required. So for minimum specs, obviously, i5 3.3 gigahertz, and they're saying it's ideally looking for a GTX 670 with 2 gigs of RAM. But if you want to go, the whole hog, running it at 2K or 4K even, you're definitely going to need a bit more grunt. You're going to need the i7, and you're going to need at least a 780, but more likely, I think they're saying for 4K, you're definitely going to need something like a 970, 980. And this is basically what it looks like in 4K. Well, obviously the screen isn't 4K, and Twitch is never going to let me stream the bitrate required for 4K, so yeah. But it does look stunning, and I do really want to play. I've been in touch with Square and filled in all the appropriate request forms, and hopefully we get a copy, because I would love to give it a go. So hopefully, if there's anybody from Square watching, please send us a copy of Just Cause 3. We would love to take a look for the show. But yes, yeah, please, I want to play as Rico and blow shit up. Anyway, what else? Other kind of bit of news. I am struggling to find news for you guys today, so this is all the kind of the weird stuff. Destiny had released a trailer for kind of I can't even say it. I need more coffee. Refer a friend. Basically, as part of their kind of holiday drive, trying to get more sales during this kind of Black Friday sales week and things like that. They are doing this whole refer a friend, and you get some special emotes. Where is it? You get new gear, so you get some fancy swords. You get a high five emote. You get a dual dance and all that kind of thing. I will put a link to the trailer in below, but I just didn't have enough boxes for scenes to actually add in with this. But yes, if you're a Destiny player, do let me know, because I don't know many that people have stuck with it. It was one of those ones early in the year. Obviously, it sold tons. It was one of those everyone must buy type games, but it did kind of fall away quite quickly. Obviously, the expansion, what is it? Wrath of the Lich King, or Killer King, Taken King. That's it. I knew I had it written down somewhere. There was a king involved. Obviously has reignited interest, but it does seem to be one of those ones that had a very short lifespan. You know, there's still a lot of people playing it, but it didn't seem to grab the audience's attention like Halo did. But oh well. What have we got next? Right, one of the biggest stories of the day. Obviously, I spent a bit of time yesterday talking about microtransactions, obviously with Payday 2. Well, we've got another story with microtransactions. Yes, apparently Tripwire, the developers of Killing Floor 2, are adding microtransactions. So, if you don't know what Killing Floor 2 is, it's follow up to Killing Floor, but it's like it's a team-based, co-op-based zombie horde mode, and one of the things it's praised for is the gunplay, and a lot of people do have a lot of love for the series. Killing Floor 2, currently in early access, so the game isn't even complete yet. Currently in early access, but the developers are adding in their own microtransaction store, almost along the lines of, you know, CSGO and Team Fortress. Basically involves buying keys to unlock crates, and they're basically calling this the Zedconomy, and it is essentially just buying cosmetic gear. So unlike Payday 2, where the skins for the guns did actually give you perks, admittedly this is all cosmetic, and they've said it's all side grades that won't actually affect the gameplay. It is just cosmetics. But they have left some room for themselves to say, potentially in the future, there may be stuff you can buy in this, basically a store, that will give you upgrades and that. So, but that's not really what the bone of contention is with a lot of the fans of the series, and what's got a load of people up in arms on the Steam forums and Reddit and places like that. It's because they are introducing microtransactions whilst the game is still in early access. And this is what's bugging a lot of people. They're saying, why are you introducing microtransactions to a game that isn't even complete yet? Why not spend the time on actually completing the game? Now, Tripwire have come back and said that they're doing this so that they can work the development of the microtransactions and that model into what the final release will be. So that does make a little bit of sense, rather than, you know, completing the game and then start tacking on microtransactions at the end. To do it as like an all-encompassing thing and actually building it with the community is probably a better approach than tacking it on and doing a overkill Starbreeze thing of, you know, just throwing in microtransactions when they said they would never do so. I mean, Also, I will say this: if you want a more complete discussion and a very good video on the whole microtransactions thing, check out Bitscreed's video that he released yesterday. I'm going to leave a link down below. He did a brilliant job on breaking down the whole shitstorm. It was a complete clusterfuck how Starbreeze and Overkill have approached this. But yes, I will put a link in the VOD down below once the video goes out on YouTube. But yes, Killing Floor, again, is another beloved series, but the fact is, people have no love for microtransactions. It works in games like Dota and League and things like that, which are classed as free-to-play games, you know, free-to-play. I hate that phrase, almost as I hate, what was it, Nintendo came up with free to start. It's, no, if there's money involved, it's not free. Okay, can we just get that established? But yes, this is a paid for game, like Payday is, but the fact that you're shoving microtransactions in, but it's where the industry's going now, and it's really bad. I know these game companies have to make a profit in order to carry on and survive. We've seen companies collapse, you know, studio get shuttered because they can't survive, but it feels very underhand to sell a full price game or even an early access game and then shove in yet more sales. If you're going to do it as kind of expansions, DLC and things like that, that's fine, but especially with these kind of games, obviously like Payday, Killing Floor is a co-op game, so it's not competitive, so any advantage is, I suppose, not as bad as if it was in a competitive shooter like CSGO or something like that. Something that's very hardcore, that if you have an advantage over your teammate, over your opponents, then that's basically you're paying to win. But the way they're approaching this as well, Tripwire are saying, if you buy, in the future, if you buy certain bits of gear that will give you some sort of perk, it will go into like a shared store type thing, so anyone that's playing with you will also have access to it, so they can buy it from the store in the game as you're playing. Scudman also talking about introducing microtransactions now lets them mold them based on feedback. Yeah, they've said they're doing this to help work with community on how they're going to do it. Right, ethical is left as an exercise to the reader. Yes, I think cosmetic transactions can work in any game. That's ongoing cost. Yeah, I mean, they have said this is just cosmetic to start off with, but they also slipped in there is scope that it could be you're buying specific gear and perks later on. They're not going to limit themselves to just cosmetics. I mean, I suppose that's one thing with how Valve handles the microtransactions. It is cosmetics, especially with all the MOBAs and things like that. It all tends to be skins and things like that. But with these shooters, there's always going to be the temptation to, you know, add side grades, as they put it. I don't know why I did that to one side. I suppose it's for effect. But yes, so Tripwire have got themselves into trouble. Again, the community's up in arms, and there's actual people on the Steam page are changing their reviews to influence this, to say, give them negative reviews, but it's still not affected it that badly. I think it's still at like 80-90% positive, so it's still showing us fairly positive. But the big thing people are saying is, instead of plowing money into trying to create microtransactions, why not finish the game? Which is a fair and valid point, because it could be one of those games that just stays in early access forever if they're going to start, you know, adding little bits here and there rather than, you know, driving the game forward. But yes, Killing Floor, making a killing on microtransactions, hence the title. Yes. Okay, this one was sent to me on Twitter this morning by CGF Indies. Apparently Dell have been rather naughty boys. They have added a bit of software in with their XPS laptops. Any Dell laptop you might have brought in the last year could potentially have absolutely horrendous backdoor into it for hackers. Essentially, this is almost like what Lenovo had going back a year or so now, with their Superfish malware. Now, that was designed so they could stick adverts on whatever web page you went to, but it was like a security backdoor for Lenovo to send you ads. Dell have done something similar with their own bit of software, but this could actually be even more detrimental to users because this creates a real security flaw. It basically this eDell root. I will stick a link down below just in case you do have a Dell laptop and you want to check up on this and whether you are actually at risk. Basically, the eDell root is one of these kind of security precautions when communicating with secure sites and secure servers, and this is basically designed so that if you're contacting your bank or a secure store like eBay or Amazon, things like that, that's where you get that little padlock in the top corner to actually say, yes, this is a secure site. The fact that they've added this eDell root bit of software, their own certificate authorizer and that, means that because it's on every laptop, a hacker could easily get that one key and pretend to be your bank or whatever, and if you're contacting this supposed bank, it will look like a secure site. So it's a huge security flaw, and this is, you know, I can see Dell being taken to, you know, the highest courts in the States and things like that, because it could be a huge security threat. And obviously internet security is the big thing, especially around this time. Obviously a lot of people buying stuff, there's potential for a lot of credit card fraud and people's bank accounts being wiped out because of this. I bought a Dell in February and I wasn't on there, but I won't buy from Dell again anyway. Yeah, I mean, everyone I know who owns a Dell, I mean, admittedly my laptop and my PC are Dells, but I got this a long time ago and I got sent this, so yeah. As hardware, they're good. As kind of customer service and that, I've heard lots of bad stuff about how Dell handle this kind of thing, so yeah. So yeah, just be warned, if you have brought a laptop from Dell in the last year, it is worth checking out. Whether you've got any tech savvy friends or you're tech savvy yourself, I will leave the link down below in the video comments, so you can the description, so you can actually check it up yourself. This could be a big security threat to your. Yeah, it's a huge security threat. Just be warned, everyone. So yes, that's my PSA for the day. Thank you for CGF Indies for sending me the link to that. That is kind of scary, really. Okay, going on to a more happier note. It is still involving courts and that, but do you guys remember the documentary from a few years ago, The King of Kong, starring Billy Mitchell? Now, he was obviously portrayed as the antagonist of the documentary, and he did come off as a colossal dick. Well, he has basically taken Cartoon Network to court over the likeness rights to the character Garrett Bobby Ferguson. Shall we see if there is any likeness? Yeah. Basically, in, what is it, regular show, he where is the video clip? Garrett Bobby Ferguson is this like huge floating head that gets rather angry when his high score gets taken over. So there is a little bit of similarity there, but the federal district court judge Ann Thompson threw out the case, saying this wasn't a likeness because the character GBF appears as a non-human creature, a giant floating head with no body from outer space. The plaintiff is a human being, and when GBF loses his title, the character literally explodes, unlike the plaintiff. So it basically got thrown out of court. I found it a very, very funny story, but it just kind of goes to show the weirdness. Yes, I can see. Obviously, the creators kind of based it on the character Billy Mitchell, but it's just a very funny story. And if you want to find out more information, again, it's another one I'm going to stick in the notes down below. But yeah, that made me chuckle this morning. What have we got next? Okay, you guys asked me to do some esports news. Now, obviously, I don't follow esports, so I can't give you kind of play-by-plays or anything like that, or any highlights in that. But I did pick out a few news stories that I had possibly comment on. First off, I did actually notice this yesterday. I was actually going to stick it into yesterday's news. The industrialist, billionaire Mark Cuban was at an event 2-3 days ago. It was a kind of charity celeb event type thing, and he basically was playing League against, I think it was the head of Intel, and they were doing it as like a charity match. Twitch freezes, I reloaded, Twitch plays an advert. Thanks, Twitch. So yes, he basically in the pre-warm-up interview. Oh no, wrong video. There we go. He was throwing a lot of shit around, doing all the usual trash talk, and he dropped the F-bomb and basically got fined 15 grand. So by the end of the match, he got told this, and he goes, "Oh fuck it," and basically doubled down on it. I thought that was an amusing story, but obviously, this guy is worth $3 billion. I think the estimates are. So that is fucking pocket change. But the money did go to charity, and it is good to see kind of big players, big money players, getting involved in esports, and that leads nicely on to where it's not the next story, it's the one after that. So yeah, I will go on to that. I got these in the wrong order, but yes, where is it? Ah, yes, right, okay. I've got to find my notes. These were the and finally stories, so these aren't as coherent. Reckles has been speaking out about the departures from Fnatic. So obviously, Honey and Rainover have left Fnatic, and Reckles has been saying this is basically because of money. This is because Europe is lagging behind both North America and Korea in actually playing professional esports players. And obviously, I reported a couple of weeks ago that, was it last week or something, big Scandinavian media giant buying up DreamHack and huge stakes in ESL and things like that. But the fact is, Europe is still lacking majorly behind North America and Korea. So despite all this money flowing around, Europe is still kind of the small fry in this, and obviously if there isn't enough money pumped into paying these professional players and that, obviously there's not going to be the demand, and there's going to be more demand for free agents just coming in and to teams and things like that. So from like a global perspective, if kind of Europe wants to be taken seriously on the world stage of esports, there is going to have to be more investment, more big companies like, what was it, MTG, I think it was, or something like that. I go back to the previous daily grinds. The details on there, I, as I said, don't have it on my notes here. So, yeah, there is more money flowing into it, but still, Europe is lacking, sadly, behind in actually paying these professional players. I mean, the prize pools are always growing, but it seems from a team basis, it's very hard to hold on to these players if you can't actually pay them. So yes, that's kind of sad news, but it's I suppose it's how the industry works. But on a brighter note, DreamHack, was it the DreamHack Cluj? No, bear with us. DreamHack Cluj had 25 million people watching the event. Now this is a world record, I think they put it down as. Was it world of news? 25 million unique viewers watched it. More than 30 million hours of Counter-Strike during the event. They estimated 5 million unique viewers each day for the 5-day event. this makes it the most watched esports event in history. So there you go. 25 million people watching the event. So that again, it's big numbers. Obviously, it is a huge industry, and the viewer base is there. So again, DreamHack, as I said, was what this Scandinavian media giant brought out. So there's certainly the interest there. It's just the European kind of teams that there needs to be a bigger push for, you know, trying to get sponsorship for these European teams so they can actually dominate on the world stage, and actually be able to pay for those top flight players. So yeah, as I said, it was kind of a weird hodgepodge of news stories today. I mean, has you guys seen anything else? I mean, do let me know in the comments if there is anything. As I said, I've been all over the place today. It's just been one of those manic ones. Where we stand on the channel, obviously this video might actually go out a bit later on the YouTube channel than usual. But that's basically because Fran is, as I said, playing Minecraft's Story Mode Episode 3 this evening, and the embargo lifts on that in just under an hour's time. So if you're checking this out, the video is probably already out. But if you want to check out yesterday's video on the channel, Yaki was playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. It was part of the YouTube series, so obviously you chose for him to play that. So yeah, if you want to check that out, I will make an annotation just there. Excuse me. And yeah, if you want to get in touch with us, obviously, as always, you can get in touch on Twitter @thekillerbits or on Facebook at facebook.com/thekillerbits. And if you want to help out the channel, there's the Patreon link there. That will help us out, you know, get hold of new games, help with the kind of running costs of everything. Yeah, but if you do want to get in touch with us, that is also a great place, because you will get access to the YouTube series early. You also see behind the scenes stuff, and you can also use it as like a forum, so you can get in touch with us on there. Leave any thoughts you might have. Do let us know if there's any particular games or anything you want me to talk about. I mean, is there any games you guys want us to play in future as co-op or Let's Play series? And if there's any news that crops up during the week, obviously do let me know. On Twitter is probably the best place about what you want me to talk about this week in the Daily Grind. As you can probably tell, I'm a bit fried. I didn't get much sleep last night. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I will leave you to it and hopefully try and get this video up as soon as possible over on the YouTube channel. If you want to check it out there, do so. Links down below, as you can see. Alright, I've gone on long enough. I need more caffeine. Sorry. Okay, I will catch you later, guys. Bye.